78% of siblings will have a physical fight before age 10. That's not just arguing. That's hitting, pushing, actual violence. And here's the wild part. Most parents make it worse. Like way worse. They punish, they separate, they try to referee who started it. Meanwhile, one culture figured out how to end it instantly. I'm talking about the Korean philosophy of Jeong. You don't need therapy or expensive parenting courses. You just need 3 simple shifts that Korean families have used for generations. And I'm going to show you exactly how they work. Okay, so your kids are fighting, again. Maybe it's over the blue cup. Maybe one of them breathed too loud. Whatever. Here's what most parents do. They jump in. They figure out who's guilty. They send one kid to timeout, maybe both. They give the whole, "we don't hit in this house" speech for the 100th time. Sound familiar? Here's the thing. That approach actually strengthens the rivalry. No joke. Because every time you referee, you're teaching them that love is a competition with a winner and a loser. Someone gets validated, someone gets blamed, and their brains are literally wiring themselves around this idea. Resources are limited, attention is scarce, I need to fight for my share. Research shows competition for attention literally wires their amygdala, the threat center, to see siblings as enemies, not allies. We're talking actual brain circuitry that says this person is my competition. Korean families discovered something completely different, and it's based on this concept called Jeong. It's hard to translate, but basically, it's an invisible thread that connects people, not through competition, through shared identity. This will feel completely wrong at first. I'm warning you now, because we've been taught to address the behavior, fix the problem, identify the guilty party, but that's exactly what keeps the cycle going. So let me show you what this looks like in real time. Your kids are fighting, one just hit the other. Here's what you do. Nothing. Well, not nothing, but you don't separate them. You don't lecture. You sit down. You get on their level, and you hold both their hands, like actually hold them, firm but gentle. You look at both of them with this completely calm face, serious, steady, zero anger. This is called the Jeong Pause. And what's happening here is wild. First, you're physically preventing harm without punishment. Your hands are there, creating safety. But you're not restraining them in anger. You're connecting them to you, both of them, equally. Second, your calm nervous system is literally regulating theirs. When you stay calm while they're dysregulated, their mirror neurons start firing to match your state. Their breathing slows, their amygdala quiets down. They start coming back online. In Korean parenting shows like The Golden Clinic, experts demonstrate this exact technique. They hold the child's hands, make eye contact, and wait. Sometimes for 2 minutes, sometimes 5. The parent doesn't speak until the child is completely calm. Here's what you probably don't realize. The waiting is doing the work. Because in that silence, with you holding both of them, they're experiencing something radical. They're experiencing unconditional presence. You're not taking sides. You're not angry at one more than the other. You're just there with both of them. And that shared experience, that's Jeong forming in real time. The key is you stay calm, completely calm, because you're not punishing behavior, you're teaching regulation. Okay, so once everyone's calm, and this is crucial, you don't skip the calm part, you speak. But here's where Korean parenting does something genius. They don't say, "Why did you hit your brother?" They don't make it about the action at all. They say, "When you hurt him, you hurt our family." And that makes mom sad. Wait, let me break down why this matters so much. Korean culture uses these specific titles: Oppa, Hyung, Uni, Nuna. Older brother, older sister, but it's not just a label. It's a role, a responsibility. And younger siblings have their role too. These aren't just kids who happen to share parents. They're part of a system where everyone has value and purpose. When you say you hurt our family, you're activating something called Shimjeong. That's the specific Jeong between parent and child. You're not saying you're bad. You're saying we're connected, and connection means your choices affect all of us. Studies link this collective identity approach to way lower aggression rates because the child isn't defending their individual territory anymore. They're part of something bigger, and their sibling, not a competitor, a teammate. Here's the real payoff. You then have them look at each other, not you, each other, and you say, You both matter to me exactly the same. Not more, not less. Exactly the same. This is the antidote to the scarcity mindset, because most sibling rivalry comes from this deep fear. There's not enough love. Mom likes them more. Dad always takes their side. I have to fight for my share. When you explicitly name that they're equal, when you show it with your body language and your presence, you're rewiring that fear. You're creating abundance where they felt scarcity. Korean grandmothers have this saying, family is the school of love. You learn how to care for others by being cared for without condition. Your siblings are your first classmates. That's Jeong. That's the invisible thread. Now here's what this looks like over time. Day 1. They might still fight, but the recovery is faster. Day 3. You'll notice them checking in with each other unprompted. Are you okay? Week 2. They start defending each other to outsiders because their identity is shifting from me versus you to us versus the world. And listen, Korean parents also give each child a role. They'll say to the older child, your job is to set an example, not because I'm making you, because your sibling looks up to you. That's not pressure, that's purpose. And to the younger child, your job is to learn from your sibling and bring your own gifts. See that? Not obey your sibling, learn from them, and contribute your own value. When both kids understand they have complementary roles instead of competing roles, the rivalry dissolves because they're not fighting for the same position anymore. But listen, the Jeong Pause handles the immediate crisis. What about prevention? What about building that thread before fights even happen? This is where Korean families get really strategic. They create shared challenges, not fun activities, challenges, things that require teamwork to overcome. In Korea, it's common for families to go hiking together, like actual difficult hikes, mountains, 2-hour climbs. And here's what happens. Older sibling has to help younger sibling, not because mom said so, because the mountain demands it. Or cooking together, not baking cookies where everyone gets their own dough. No, making one dish that requires multiple hands. Older kid chops, younger kid stirs. Everyone contributes to the same goal. Why does this work? Because adversity bonds. When you struggle together, when you accomplish something hard together, your brains release oxytocin. That's the bonding hormone, and it literally creates neural pathways that associate your sibling with cooperation, not competition. You can start small, like really small. Next time you need to bring in groceries, assign them as a team. Not you take this bag, you take that bag. Nope. You two figure out how to get all these bags inside together, and then you step back. Let them problem solve, let them negotiate, let them experience the win together. I watched this happen last week with my neighbor's kids, 7 and 9. Usually they fight over everything. She gave them one task, reorganize the garage together. They had to agree on where everything goes. No adult input. Took them 45 minutes. And you know what? They barely argued because there was no competition, just collaboration toward a shared outcome. That's Jeong building in real time. Quick pause. Have you tried anything like this with your kids? Drop a comment and let me know because I'm genuinely curious what's working for you. Seriously, I read every single one. Okay, so let me rephrase that. Here's what makes this different from every other parenting strategy out there. It's not about behavior modification, it's about identity. Western parenting tends to focus on individual development, be yourself, find your unique path. All good things, by the way. But when it comes to siblings, that individual focus can accidentally create separation. Jeong flips it. You're you, yes, but you're also part of us. Your identity includes your connection to your sibling, not in a codependent way. In a rising tide lifts all boats way. And yeah, they still fight sometimes. They're human, but fights become blips instead of the default state because their foundational wiring says, we're connected, we matter to each other. Hurting you hurts us both. That's the power of Jeong. It's not a technique you use once, it's a lens, a way of seeing relationships that changes everything downstream. So here's what I want you to try. Next time your kids fight, and it'll probably be today, let's be real. Don't separate them. Don't referee. Sit down, hold both their hands, and just be present. Stay calm. Wait for the storm to pass. Then remind them, you're connected. Both of you matter, exactly the same. That's it. That's the Jeong Pause. Try it once, see what shifts, and then come back here and tell me what happened. If you want more on Korean parenting wisdom, I did a whole video on their sleep training methods that's kind of insane. Check it out in the corner. But for now, you've got this. Your kids are going to be okay, and so are you.